What if I told you owning a Tim Hortons like this does not automatically make you rich? Or does it?
With over 3,500 locations in Canada, Tim Hortons is one of the most recognized brands.
Drive past any Tim Hortons and you'll see a lineup so long, you'll feel like they're giving out coffee for free.
With so much traffic, these franchise owners have to be making millions. Well, not exactly. Today, we're breaking down how to buy Tim Hortons, what it really costs, and whether it's actually a good investment. If you've ever dreamed of owning a coffee shop, this video might just be for you. Tim Hortons isn't just a coffee shop, it's a Canadian icon. Founded in 1964, it has grown to over 3,500 locations in Canada with nearly 1,800 in Ontario alone.
That's a massive footprint for a country with less people than California. Tim Hortons has adapted into our daily lives. Quick coffees, brunch, lunch, Timbits for kids, and so much more. But just because a business is busy doesn't really mean it's profitable.
So let's break it down. How do you actually buy a Tim Hortons? What does it really cost, and most importantly, is it even worth it? First thing first, you can't just buy a Tim Hortons like a regular business. There's an application process, strict financial requirements, and even corporate approvals.
Here's what you need to qualify. A minimum net worth of 1.5 million, at least 500,000 in liquid assets or cash, a total investment of about 1.5 to 2.3 million before you can actually have your store up and running. But here's the funny part. Having money just isn't enough. They're gonna look at more detailed things of how well you can manage the business, how well you can handle stress, high density locations, lots of traffic, lots of moving parts. So they do really deep dive into your background, your experience in life and business management, and your overall ability to manage high traffic locations. And then cherry on top, if you are new to the franchise, you're new to the business, you don't really get a first pick in location. Tim Hortons can place you anywhere they want with no guarantees of getting the ideal location you had in mind since day one. And if you're new, you don't really get to pick your location. And that's my next point. If you think you're gonna get a prime location on a busy street, think again. Most of the ideal locations are reserved by long-time franchisees. And if a new location does come up, the first option to pick would go to the longest franchise owners, the ones that have been in the business for years and years. It's like showing up to a buffet when everyone's done eating. So what you have is technically what's left over, what no one else really wanted. So unlike some franchisees that protect their owners, Tim Hortons, if they see a strong opportunity right next to your Tim Hortons, they can place another one just a block away. You don't really have any exclusivity, you don't really have any territorial rights to your location. So now that you know a lot more about the franchise model itself, let's talk about what it's like actually running the space on a day-to-day basis. Running a Tim Hortons is not passive income. It's a full-time job.
Early morning store preps, drive-through rush, staff management orders, there's a lot. Most owners start the day at around 4:30 a.m., managing 30 to 40 employees, mainly on minimum wages with high turnovers, handling customer complaints, inventory, and long hours behind the counter.
Here's a reality check. If someone doesn't show up for their shift, guess who's covering up?
You are. This is a high volume, fast-paced business, and because of its complexity and low margins can make and do make profitability a challenge.
So how much money does a Tim Hortons actually make?
An average Tim Hortons generates about 1.5 mil every single year. But revenue isn't always profit. After expenses, the average owner takes home around 220k. Some make more, some make less, and some even lose money.
And keep in mind that's 200k before taxes, before paying any of your mortgages, loans, or any personal debt that you have acquired to get into one of these. So with all of that accounted for, a lot of owners will report taking home around 100k after working almost 70 hours a week.
Unlike an independent coffee shop, you don't really have full control over your Tim Hortons. All supplies must be purchased from corporate, which also means no price negotiations. Marketing decisions are made by corporate, which also means mandatory promotions. Corporate can terminate franchise agreements, and it's happened before.
A lot of people still think Tim Hortons is Canadian. Well, I hate to break it to you, but Tim Hortons is no longer Canadian. Tim Hortons was actually bought back in 2014 for like 11.4 billion by RBI, Restaurant Brand International, which is technically Burger King. So Burger King actually owns all these Tim Hortons. You can't even see it. It's right behind me. But Burger King actually now owns all of the Tim Hortons. There's even been legal battles between franchise and business owners regarding profit margins, costs, advertisement fees, and just overall control. And things have not been so great for the franchise owners. They now have less controls, their suppliers are set in place, the prices are set in place, and the profit margins are also set in place. It's a great franchise model for the corporate, not so good for the franchise owners.
So, should you invest in Tim Hortons? Here's what it comes down to. If you want a secure prime location, have the restaurant experience, and are ready to grind, it can be a profitable business. But if you expect easy money, passive income, this might not be for you. Successful franchisees treat this like a hands-on business, optimize operations, and scale rapidly. But for an average first-time investor, there's honestly better options.
And of course, all these numbers are based off the things I've researched and based off the things I've actually heard from actual owners. End of the day, you have to do your own due diligence. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. I'm a licensed realtor who can help you buy and sell, but I'm not a Tim Hortons business owner. So take me as a random guy on YouTube and do your own due diligence.
Would you ever own a Tim Hortons? Let me know in the comment section down below, and if you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe. Once again, my name is Mohit Dhillon. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest anywhere in Calgary or Alberta, give me a call, text, or email, and I'll be happy to help. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.